Okay, hello everyone, this is JD of JDTechTips, and today we'll be analyzing the problem string reversion in preparation for your coding interviews. So after this, you should be able to understand the solution used and its advantages. So we'll be covering the problem description, analysis of the problem. We will be having a brute force solution, and of course an efficient solution as well. So make sure to subscribe for more, and let's get started. Okay, for the problem description. So given a non-empty string, we have to return the string in reverse order. So our example would be as follows. dog should return god, and world should return the reverse order dlrow. Okay, so let's analyze the problem. So it is quite straightforward actually. So we are given a non-empty string. So we are quite sure that there is at least one character there. And we have to return the string in reverse order. So here is the approach that we will be having. So we will use world as our example. So for the first approach, which is the brute force, we would be creating an array of the size of with the size equal to the length of the string that we are having. So in this case, world has 5 characters, so the array size would also be 5. And then we will start at the last character of the word, which is D, and put that in the first character, first index of the array. And then we will move to the second to the last character of the word and put that in the second index of the array. As you can see, the pattern would be as follows. It will automatically reverse the string. Okay, so this approach would actually be an O of n, big O of n, since we are only traversing the array once. So for our second approach, it would be as follows. So we would have the same, an array of the same size as the length of the word. But in this case, we will be copying the actual word to the array. And then we would have an index, which we could call the left index and the right index. Or it would be better if we call it left cursor and right cursors. And then we will be switching those two as follows. Okay, and now we move the cursors, increment the left cursor by 1 and decrement the right cursor by 1, and then switch it again as follows until those cursors meet. Okay, now that they meet, we can already say that the string is reversed. So how are we going to implement this in the code? So here's our code implementation. Okay, so this is the method that we need to fill. So public string solution, string word, so we are accepting a string, and then we will be returning a string. So as mentioned earlier, we have to create an array, an empty array with the size of the length of the word. And then we should return a string equivalent of the reversed array. And then we would loop starting from the last index, which would be the word.length minus 1. As you know that we are starting the index count in 0, that's why it's word.length minus 1. And then we will do it until we reach the very first index, which is 0, and decrement it on every loop. Okay, and then we will be assigning the value of the cursor that we are holding in the word.length minus I minus 1. So okay, and then we'll assign the value word.char@I. For the second approach, we would have the same method as well. And then in this case, we would be assigning the word.toChar_array. toChar_array method would actually convert the string to character array. Okay, so we are actually initializing this character array with each value. And then similar to the first approach, you would be returning the string equivalent of this character array. So we would have a left cursor, which would start at I is equal to 0. and then which would start at the last index of the array. So that is word that length minus 1. And we will loop while I is less than j. We will continue on looping on this array. Okay, we would have a temp which would hold the reversed value, and then reverse I would have the value reverse j, and then reverse j would hold the temp value, and then increment the left cursor and decrement the right cursor. Okay, we could see this clearly while if we do the code simulation, so let's do that. So for the first approach, we would start, of course, by initializing the array. We initialize it with the length of the word, which is 5 in this case, and then go and initialize I with word at length minus 1. So we start with the last character and then assign that value to the first index as follows, and then we do it to the second to the last character and assign it there. As you can see, it's very straightforward, as we are only assigning the character as we go through the string. So that is the first approach that we have. And then we will be returning the string equivalent of that character array. For our second approach, it would be as follows. So we would have our array as well of the same size as the length of the string, and then initialize it with the value of the word. We would have a left cursor and the right cursor, and then we will loop until those two cursors meet. So for this, we would be creating a temp variable which would hold the value of the left cursor, and then assign the value of the right cursor to I. And then for the j, for the right cursor, we'll put the value of the temp there, and then we can now increment and decrement our left and right cursors. And we will do another loop. Okay. And then reverse I, it would be equal to reverse j. Reverse j would hold the temp value, and then increment and decrement again. And now that I is equal to j, the loop will be finished, and then we will be returning the string equivalent of that array. Alright, so if you have any questions, just comment it down below. If you have any coding problem that you want me to explain, just comment it down as well below. If you have the link of that would be better. And then subscribe for more videos like this. Alright, thank you very much and good luck to your coding interviews. Bye.